One of the biggest celebrity crimes is the murder of rap legend Biggie Smalls, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G., still unsolved 24 years later.
Gina Silva has more on this story from our Fox 11 True Crime Files.
Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far.
Christopher Wallace, also known as
Biggie, 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 can't you see?
Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., one of the greatest rappers of all time, was suddenly gone on March 9th, 1997, ambushed in the streets of Los Angeles during a visit. This is video from our Fox 11 True Crime Files.
The other vehicle pulls up alongside, and the driver shoots numerous times into the vehicle.
A victim of a drive-by shooting outside of the Peterson Automotive Museum on Fairfax in Wilshire. Biggie was shot multiple times while sitting in the front passenger side of this SUV. There were plenty of witnesses, but no one could give an accurate description of the shooter.
When somebody's shooting at you, your first reaction is not to get a description of them, but to take cover, duck.
Biggie was killed 6 months after Tupac Shakur died in a hail of bullets in Las Vegas. Two larger-than-life hip-hop artists, Biggie from the East Coast with Bad Boy Records led by Sean Combs, and Tupac from the West Coast with Death Row Records founded by Marion Suge Knight.
I was assigned to Biggie's case as a result of a reinvestigative effort by the LAPD.
Greg Kading is a retired LAPD detective. He was assigned in 2006 to the Biggie case after several leads had gone cold, including a lawsuit against the LAPD, alleging that crooked cops David Mack and Rafael Perez were involved in the murder and cover-up. That lawsuit was later dropped.
It's been so many years. Why hasn't this case been solved?
Well, if you were to ask me, I would say it is solved. I would say that it's solved but unprosecuted. So this is one of the murder books.
After years of investigating this case, Kading says he can finally prove what many of Biggie's fans suspected. Their beloved Notorious B.I.G. was murdered in retaliation to the killing of Tupac. Kading alleges the hit was ordered from inside county jail.
The time that Biggie Smalls was killed, Suge Knight was in the county jail. So in order for him to communicate with somebody on the street, he had to go through an intermediary, which was this female who was visiting him in jail.
On May 28, 2009, the LAPD and the FBI documented that woman's statement. Her identity is being protected. Kading says the woman worked out an agreement that nothing would be used against her.
But while she's telling us, she's got tears in her eyes, she's clearly frightened.
Kading says the woman would visit Knight pretending to be a legal assistant.
That allows her to go in, sit down with Suge, and have unmonitored visits. Deputies can't overlisten on the phone, they can't stand there and overhear the conversation. So that's how it was set up, so that she could have confidential conversations.
This LAPD statement says, quote, during more than one of these visits, Knight instructed Blank to help him coordinate the murder of Christopher Wallace.
She said that Suge told her, I want you to get a hold of Poochie, figure out what type of money it's going to cost, and tell him that this is what I want done. So she then, there's a series of meetings. She goes and meets with Poochie. They agree on an amount. Suge makes the arrangement for that money to get transferred. She pays Poochie, and he goes and sets himself up at the Peterson Auto Museum and shoots and kills Biggie.
Poochie can be seen in this photograph with several friends, including Knight. His real name, Wardell Fowles, also known as Darnell Bolton.
So we knew that he was somebody who was dangerous, somebody capable of doing these things, but we didn't know it was him until the other co-conspirator confesses.
And by that time, it was too late. Fowles had been dead for years, killed in an unrelated gang shooting. No charges have ever been filed against Suge Knight in this case. Kading says he's extremely disappointed the LAPD hasn't officially closed this case.
I certainly think it is a closed case, and they ought to satisfy history by saying this is the facts and this is why we can't prosecute it, but it is solved.
You met with Biggie's mom. How do you feel about her and what she's gone through?
I love Valletta Wallace. From the very beginning, me and my partner, that was our sole motivation, was to give her the answers that she deserved. I wish we could have given her the ultimate satisfaction in the case.
Would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight 'cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world.
Now, the LAPD declined our request for an interview, and we were told this is still an open case. As for Suge Knight, in 2015, he was sentenced to 28 years in prison for a crime not related to this case. We reached out to him as well for comment on the story. We never heard back. Alex, Marla?
Gina Silva, thank you so much. If you want to know more about the True Crime Files, you can scan the QR code on your screen. You got to use your phone to do that. It will take you to our Fox LA page where you can take a look at LA's True Crime Files. So basically use your camera function on your phone and bring it up to the screen and take a picture of that.